Yeah. What's going on, guys? After over a month of no uploads, Chun is back. Welcome to my 100th upload special. Uh, I first want to say, before we dive into this, I want to thank you guys so much for sticking with me. Whether you just got here being this channel, or you've been here since the very beginning. There's a lot of stuff going on. I went on vacation toward the end of August, so I was gone over a week. And then I got back home and we had no internet. Then we got it back. Then the other day we had no power, so it's been fun. It's been fun. But we're back in business, hopefully for a long while. I don't want to ramble too much, but being that this is the first episode of this podcast thingy, I'll just call it the Chuncast for right now. I don't even really consider it a podcast. But anyway, this is the first episode. I'm going to stay pretty light. So there's not going to be any big time special guests or anything like that. Just the friendly neighborhood turtle hermit. I hope you grasshoppers will enjoy this. But I'm going to touch on a few topics, including a little look into my personal life, what I think about the Garchomp suspect metagame, and I'm thinking about possibly changing my name, that being my alias. So, the death of Jackie Chun. I never thought I'd see that coming. But I'll touch on that later. That'll be toward the end. Anyway, my personal life. For those that don't know, I'm actually 29 years old, and I will be 30 by the end of the year. So that definitely puts me as one of the older people in the Pokemon YouTube community, though I'm definitely not the oldest. I might even be far from it. Who knows? But I'm a pretty chill dude. I'm black, for anyone that cares. It's not a big deal to me, but anyway, I prefer a peaceful life because I'm just that type of guy, though that is not always possible, not in the slightest. I do try to stay mature, and I try to use wisdom when dealing with people and situations in life, though I do have my immature moments, and I can come off as nonchalant and even arrogant at times. And I think that's just what I've developed from being a gamer for so long. Most gamers, to me, they tend to have that personality, even though no one says it. You can feel it sometimes when you're at competitive events, things like that, when you're playing any game in a competitive manner, but including this one. Speaking of which, I can be very competitive as well, because if I wasn't, I wouldn't be playing Pokemon competitively. I'm a gamer after all, but that's just one part of me. Another thing too, I haven't told anybody this. I'm actually married, though things are a bit complicated right now. I'm not going to go into it since I really am not comfortable revealing details about my marriage. That's just out of respect and love for not just the marriage, the relationship itself, but my wife. So I'm just going to leave it at that for now. My job, I work as a banker for one of the biggest banks in the United States of America. I'm not going to say who it is, but I'll say that they're in the top 5. So work isn't much, basically a call center job, so definitely nowhere close to making a lot of money. It's a customer service job. But if anyone has ever worked in a call center before, even though it's a customer service job, they make sales the primary focus, even though, in my opinion, that should be secondary, because I'm the type of person that I like to build rapport and relationship, but depending on which bank you work for, that's not always the case. But anyway, naturally, because sales are the primary focus of the job, it makes it pretty stressful, especially when they don't give you a lot of time to be on a call with a customer. My particular position, they would like for you to be done with the customer in 5 minutes or less and move on to the next call that's waiting. But it's not a complex job, but it takes a lot of focus and energy. Saw what I did there. I guess when you're one of the biggest banks in the country, though, you got to make money, especially in this recession. My opinion, the financial industry, particularly banks, is probably one of the worst industries to be in right now because of what happened with the economy. You know, mortgages, bad mortgages, things like that. But that's where it started with the banks. So nobody likes banks right now, just in general. But it's business. It's not going to change anytime soon. So if there is going to be a change, it's going to be with me. The commute. Oh, I apologize, guys. If there's a noise in the background, I'm doing laundry. It's my day off. You know, got to clean my clothes. Can't be leaving the house all dirty and stuff. You know. But the commute. Some of you guys know this already, just from talking on Skype or just conversations, emailing, messaging each other. This is pretty much how it goes. I get up at 6 a.m. I eat breakfast. I go catch the first of 2 buses. That bus takes me to what I call Midtown, but where I live, which I live in North Carolina, the city I live in, some people call it downtown and others call it uptown, depending on which side of town you live on, either the north side or the south side. Still, there's some other people that just call it Center City because it's in the middle of the city. So I just call it Midtown. But anyway, I get off the first bus at Midtown. I wait for the second bus. Get on that and take that to the north side of the city where my job is. So I'm going across town every day to get to work. I start work at 8:30. I get off at 5, and I do the same thing going back. So the commute to and from work is about 2 hours, give or take. So I'm gone from my house about 13 hours a day. So by the time I get home, I have about 2 to 3 hours to myself before I hit the sack, and then I have to get up and do it again. I'm off Wednesdays and Sundays. So today's Wednesday. That's why I can do this. Why do I take the bus? I do have a car. It's an Audi A6. I'm a boss. I'm just kidding. The car's over 10 years old. But I got bills, so I have to save wherever I can. So just budgeting and doing that, since I'm a grown man. But since I'm doing budgets and all of that, especially since I'm in the financial industry, so I have to have some knowledge of money. It just comes out cheaper in the long run if I take the bus. On top of that, the gas mileage on my car isn't that great. It's a beautiful ride though, inside and out. So I guess some of you guys can tell why I just have no time whatsoever. Some days some of my off days I just want to sleep. But anyway, on to the Garchomp Suspect metagame. Wow, I'm almost at 10 minutes. This is crazy. All right, let's keep it moving. So yes, Chun has been playing a little bit of 5th gen on the low. I'm not even close to being decent yet, but for some reason the possibility of Garchomp being dropped to OU intrigued me enough to build a team and play a few games on the ladder, the Suspect ladder on Pokemon Showdown. Though lately I've chosen to refocus on 4th gen just for the time being, because I'm still tweaking some teams that I've got for 4th gen. So I went back to that for now. That being said, though, I can't say I agree with the way the Smogon Council is going about it. There was a lot of uproar. Uproar. So what I did there again? Anyway, there's a lot of uproar when this process started, and there are still very differing opinions. Initially, I thought this was the greatest thing ever. But some people had shed some light on some things, and now I still think it could be the greatest thing ever, but it should be done the quote-unquote right way. I'll first touch on the argument of Sandvale. A lot of people brought up the point that the reasoning Smogon has done it in this manner, the manner being Sandvale would be an extension of the evasion clause, so Sandvale would be banned on all Pokemon, and they would bring Garchomp down at the same time, because the theory is that if Garchomp doesn't have Sandvale, it doesn't need to be Uber. Because without Sandvale, it's not broken, which I agree. But anyway, the reasoning that Smogon had done it in this manner is because Sandvale allowed bad players to beat good players. Since it does nothing but add luck into the game and doesn't add any skill, the example that gets brought up typically is the Acrobatics Gliscor set. It got used a lot in previous events like the last Smogon Tour and the last World Cup of Pokemon. My stance on it is, if Sandvale is the problem, why aren't we just banning Sandvale? Why are they treating Garchomp as a separate matter? Or why aren't they treating Garchomp as a separate matter like Smogon probably would have done in the past traditionally? It's almost like it's a combo ban situation, but not exactly. But the process is making it look like Smogon has a biased view of Garchomp dropping to OU. But then again, does Smogon even care about the image they portray to the rest of the Pokemon community? Should they care? I mean, if it was up to me, I'd take the stance of just doing another complex ban similar to Drizzle Swift Swim, consisting of Sandstream and Sandvale. I'd honestly take it a step further and add Sandrush to it, although that seems like I might be taking it too far, but at least that would give even Excadrill a chance to come back down as well, though it wouldn't be nearly as effective. But at least it would keep other fast, frail offensive threats viable, and it wouldn't stifle creativity, which was one of the issues when Excadrill was in OU before. Regardless, though, the Smogon community is overall in favor of the suspect metagame, so the idea of Garchomp coming down without Sandvale is probably going to happen. So if I were you guys, I'd go ahead and just get ready for it by playing on the suspect ladder. Last thing I'm going to touch on, and then I'm done. So the old man's not going to ramble too long. But the possible name change, been thinking about changing my name from Jackie Chun to something else. It's been on my mind for some time now. The Jackie Chun alias, just to give a little bit of history, Pokemon is not the first game I've played competitively. I actually have a little bit of a history as a competitive player in different card games as well as other video games. Being that I'm 29, most of it took place over a decade ago. But Magic the Gathering, the Pokemon TCG, when that first got started, I even had a little stint in different fighting games, and there's many others, I can't think of them right now, but I originally picked the name because it was an alter ego that Master Roshi used in martial art tournaments in the Dragon Ball anime. I thought it was really cool, even though I hadn't even watched Dragon Ball up to that point of the series. I didn't get to watch Dragon Ball until much later. The problem now, though, is that I'm actually changing as a person in real life, and I'm definitely different from the person I used to be 10 years ago. And for those that ever watched Dragon Ball, Master Roshi, or Jackie Chun, one and the same, he's a very wise old man, but he's also a very dirty old man. He is definitely 100% pervert. And I'm getting to the point in my life where I just don't want to be associated with that anymore. But I'm still in the deciding phase, though, so it may happen or It may not. But if it does, I'll definitely let you guys know. But anyway, that's going to be the first episode of the Chuncast. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Definitely leave some comments below. Just let me know if you guys enjoyed it or not, or if you have any ideas for topics that I can touch on. But yeah, leave your comments below. Tell me what you think. Hope you guys liked it. And there's going to be a battle this weekend. The, I guess, series continues for Smoke on Tour 13. So I need to finish it, especially since Smoke on Tour 14 has started already. But yeah, until then, guys, Chun is out. Peace.